Huh?
Sige.
We're looking for more crocs. And look at the water.
Is the only known white crocodile in the wild in the world. So as she gets closer, you should be able to see, or will be able to see better when we bring her around the other side. She does have black markings on her back and on her tail. Her eyes are also a normal colour for a croc. They're not red or pink like an albino's are. So she has a condition called hypomelanism. Now, based on data that we have from crocodile farms, we know that white crocodiles in of themselves are about 1 in 10,000. But out here in the wild, only 20 to 30% of their eggs ever hatch, and only about 1% of hatchlings survive to adulthood. So if you stack all those numbers together, to even reach this size, Pearl had less than a 0.0000025% chance of survival. So because of that, some people have some interesting theories about her. They think she might be an escapee from a crocodile farm or from someone's personal collection. Some people suspect someone may have even intentionally released her out here for some reason or other. I reckon she's just a very lucky little fluke of a crocodile. Some people believe she's the offspring of an equally famous croc who used to live in this river. He had a black body and a white head. His name was Michael Jackson. Personally, I'm doubtful though that MJ is the father, because the kid is not his son. Terrible, man. Very good. You see these crocodiles that we work with do recognise our boats. They also recognise our staff and not just our uniforms. They do know our faces and our voices. They can tell us apart from each other. And these crocodiles that we work with know that if they come up to the boat and jump a few times, they can get a tasty snack. So for them, we're a bit like the Adelaide River ice cream truck.
So judging by the crocodile's behaviour, it's more than likely Grover. Grover's a rogue male, so he doesn't have his own territory. But he is sexually mature. Yeah, 4.5 metres. Probably 4 months back.
Does someone want to jump in, feel around, see if you can find him? No, you're all too smart for that. That's good. That's good. So Grover's a bit of a busted up crocodile. He's missing a decent chunk off the end of his tail. What's left of his tail is pretty banged up from other crocodiles. He's missing one of his legs. He's got lots of cuts and scratches all over his body, and he's a little bit skinny. By crocodile standards.
So we will have to be quick with Grover because we do have a little female called Miss coming over, and she will actually chase Grover away. So it's not necessarily the Miss chases him away, it's the conflict with Miss would lead to Casanova, who owns the territory, being alerted to Grover being there.
One more on this side.
I'll just bring him around.
One more. Close enough?
No, that's okay. It's just the sound of it.
We do actually charge extra to get the crocodile into the boat. Very expensive, costs someone an arm and a leg. But that popping sound can get even louder. I love it so much. You're a good crocodile, aren't you, Grover? Alright, I want the metal back. So, a big male like Grover is going to have a bite force of close to 3,500 pounds per square inch already. If he snapped his jaws shut full force, it'd be about as loud as a shotgun going off next to your head. Now having said that, all of us on board, with one very small notable exception, are strong enough to hold his mouth shut. We're not going to try it, that's a bad idea. But because the drawback of having such strong muscles to close their mouths is that they have very weak muscles to open them, and they also have no muscles to move their jaws from side to side. see if we can get a crocodile to come for a walk up onto Bondi Beach. There you are. There's the other croc.
Mosquito. Buko.
Yeah, they're great food for baby crocodiles, those mud skippers. See all the mullet in the water as well.
Buko is the
Great food sources for baby crocodiles. So, hopefully that crocodile we saw just over there is realised what we're doing and is coming towards us. Well, if you guys want to come up here, where you can see a bit better, there's two white-bellied sea eagles flying up here. If you want to come up to the front so you can see better, you can, because we're sitting nice and still here, beached. So there's one eagle there on the right and another one a bit higher up, sort of following the kite. So there are 3 different bird species up here in the air. There's black kites, there's, oh no, that one's a black kite too. No, 2 species, black kites and the white-bellied sea eagles. So the eagles are getting a bit far away now, but the black kites are all very dark in colour, but on the white-bellied sea eagles you might be able to see that white head and white belly that they've got. You got one. Yeah, it's alright, don't worry. And we're also got to get this crocodile to come for a walk.
So guys, we'll just get you to grab a seat for a second while Alex gets the croc up on track. If it's the croc I think it is, she is very cheeky, very quick.
There you are. Hey, come on. Come on.
Once she's in the right position.
Yeah,
So
we're all
you guys
good.
on my right, we'll just get you guys can go up and get a photo of everything. Just be careful of Wookie, he's not really watching the backside of that stick.
So you see how much bigger they look once they're out of the water? They're like icebergs. Which works very well for them, you know, if they're sitting with just their eyes and their nose above the water surface and there's a wallaby down by the water that thinks it's only a small crocodile, that's not a danger. Then the wallaby's going to feel nice and safe, get closer to the water than if it realised how big that crocodile was.
So guys, when you got a photo, we'll get you
Give the croc a better chance to catch
you
it.
guys on this side and get up and take a photo of it.
Launching out of the water at their prey at speeds of up to 32 kilometers an hour. So they are incredibly fast and they're incredibly powerful animals, but they don't have a lot of stamina. So if, for example, you were standing on the edge of the floodplains there with that crocodile and you just started running across the floodplains there as quick as you could for as long as you could away from that crocodile, it's probably not even going to follow you for 2 seconds because it's going to realize you're running away. The crocodile would have to put in a lot of effort and a lot of energy to chase you, and that's energy that, you know, sustained sustained, what's the word I'm looking for? Exertion that saltwater crocodiles, crocodilians, just can't handle. But it's even better to not be standing up on the floodplains to start with. That's a lot easier than running away from a crocodile. And in the water, they swim at speeds of up to about 26 kilometres an hour, which, for comparison, the average Olympic swimmer can do about 9.5.
This is Casanova. So you could just have a look at it because he does actually take forever to do anything. He is the largest crocodile. So if you look out
So you all know Sweetheart up at the museum? It's a bit bigger than Sweetheart. So it's interesting the way a lot of Aboriginal people describe the size of these animals. They tell you that Casanova is about this big. So what part of him do you reckon that is?
Teeth.
That's not his teeth.
Distance between the eyes.
Well, that's it.
That's a good guess.
Yeah. Well, because so often that's all you see is just the eyes and the nose. And if you spend enough time around crocodiles, you know, sort of learn the proportions, then knowing how far apart the eyes are tells you roughly how big the head is, which tells you roughly how big the whole crocodile is. And so especially before white man brought measurements like meters and feet, just keep your hands in at the back there, it was, and really still is, quite an effective way to describe their size. Very handsome crocodile. Saltwater crocodiles are best designed to ambush their prey at the water's edge. You know, every animal's got to come down to the water to have a drink at some point, and so crocodiles are very well designed to ambush those animals while they've got their face in the water having a drink. But this being a tidal system, a lot of the time terrestrial animals can't really reach the water. At low tide, it's very deep, soft mud along the riverbanks that if you tried to walk in it, you'd sink up to about your waist. And even still, during the dry season especially, the salinity of the water can fluctuate quite a bit, so it's not the most reliable drinking source. So in this river, the crocodiles mostly eat mud crabs and freshwater turtles, and each other.
Sige.
Alright, so after the jumping crocodile experience, nagutom, so we're hungry. And they're not selling any really food. I don't think they have beverages, they have drinks, but I don't think they have food inside. So we have some buffalo sausages. Spicy. How do you find it, love?
Enjoy.
Because I think the weather is good. It's windy. It's not humid. They're not busy. Obviously, because of COVID. I think I have knife here, so I'll just use the knife. So it's really good that we brought some food. We're supposed to go to Territory Wildlife, but because we were late for a few minutes, I don't want to. I changed my mind, so we came to a different route. Oops. Oh, it's not working, love. This one is going to be really spicy.
Which one?
That one.
Ending speech.
I'm still hungry. Alright, so it's still early. I think we are still going to another place, another adventure. We'll see you shortly. Ciao for now.